Well, hello everybody. I'm so glad that you joined to watch this video and see what it is that I'm talking about. Yes, I know this got your attention, the title did. And I know that a lot of people are going to be upset thinking that I'm going after Robin in connection with Summer's disappearance. That's not what this is about. Yes, we were doing some research and a question came up about Robin and about the photos that she was in the process of taking when Summer went missing. So there's a lot of things I'm going to cover in this video, so it's probably going to be just a little bit long. I do apologize for the people who don't like long ones. But let's just get on with it, okay? First of all, everybody agrees that Summer was being directed what to do in this video of her dancing in front of the barrel. And guys, before we get started, really good, go hit the subscribe, the like, the share, ring the bell so you're notified when I put more videos and stuff out if you like the content. And if you want to help out the channel, however, there's several different ways in the description box of how you can. Or if you just, if you're here and you're watching and you're supporting and you're discussing and you're helping get these kids' names and faces and stories out there, that's all I ask. Anyways, let's get back to this. Now, like I said, we all agree that Summer was being directed by someone in this video where she's dancing in front of the barrels, or the barrel, right? That's what most of us believe anyways. Whether you want to call it directed or just the parent telling her to go jump here and run there and do whatever, or was it somebody else that was just seeing what she could do? Along comes Miss Robin and her little steppers. That's the name of the dance group that her daughter's in. Don't worry about trying to look it up. Well, actually, you can try to look it up if you want, and if you find it, please let me know, because Discovering and I have sit here since probably 8:30 this morning trying to locate that business. We have looked, Discovering specifically has looked in all the surrounding counties, all the towns, and cannot find a dance studio or any business for that matter that goes by the name Little Steppers or that has that connected to the business name. So if anybody has any information that, tells us where it's at, what it is, whatever, or that it really does exist, please let me know. Okay? Now, the reason I'm complaining on here about how many more kids is Robin going to be putting in danger is because, okay, first of all, we all fussed when she put her daughter in that birthday video with Dawn and Candace saying, hey, Robin, if you agree with the parents and you think that Summer was abducted, how can you take your own child and put it in a video with them? Some people may understand that. Some people may not. That's okay. But I will tell you this. Robin, along with a lot of other people, gave Molly Golightly heck over her recording Robin while her daughter was sitting in front of her, which in turn recorded Robin's daughter. And Robin, along with other people, accused Molly of putting her daughter in danger by putting her on camera, putting her in danger by filming that little girl while she was sitting there in church in front of her mother. Okay, I'm not saying she's wrong. She's also accusing Molly of putting her daughter in danger because she put her on YouTube. Okay, I don't disagree with that either. But is this a double standard for Robin? I mean, think about it, guys. Listen, we all know whether it says in the rule books or not, and I can read it here for you. It talks about, where's that? Okay, now, Labeling your child. Why do sports teams and the uniforms and stuff only have the last name of the child on their uniforms? Because of their safety. You don't put children's first names out there simply because a predator can come up, and if they see the child's first name, their nickname, whatever, they can call the child by name and convince them that they are friends of the family or the parents or whatever. And I'm just going to read the first paragraph or two of this, and then I'll get on with it, okay? It says, labeling your child's belongings helps daycare providers, teachers, coaches, camp counselors, and other caregivers locate your child's backpack, water bottle, shoes, and all other items they carry day to day. However, some parents worry that labeling clothes, lunchboxes, and other items could make a child a target of a predator or a potential abductor. Adults who prey on children use tricks to gain a child's trust. One of these is calling a child by their name. It is often difficult for kids to separate strangers from acquaintances and good guys from the bad guys. When someone is using their name, kids may believe the person must be someone they know or their parent knows. This makes the child think it is okay to talk to the adult. When labeling your child's belongings, it's important to balance making their items easily identifiable and protecting their privacy. Here's what you need to know about labeling items and keeping your child safe. Protecting against child predators. Safety tips for labeling children's items. Although the risk of kids being abducted by a stranger are small, it is still wise to make sure your child's belongings can be identified without compromising their safety. Adults who have ulterior motives might use easily identifiable names, nicknames, and other information to approach your child. Label items discreetly. Avoid labeling jackets, backpacks, and other items on the outside with the child's name or nickname prominently visible, especially because a child may not always be under the constant watch of an adult. Parents should consider their child's privacy when they are labeling belongings, says Susan Kennedy, Senior Program Manager for the Outreach and Prevention National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Especially for young children, it is possible someone might read their name or their nickname on a coat or a backpack and use that information to make it seem like they know the child by addressing them by their name. This might make the child think that it is okay to go with someone they shouldn't, including into a vehicle. When your child is old enough to walk home from school or even just from the bus stop without a grown-up, you do not want their name visible. Instead, label your child's belongings discreetly, placing their names on the inside. And of course, it goes on, and it gives many suggestions and stuff about how to go about it, where to place the names and stuff, and the fact that you should, use the last names possibly, if at all possible. And that is what I've been taught all my life. Like playing softball when I was a child, when my children played sports, and even when my grandchildren. This is why they only use the last names, guys, is so that predators cannot walk up to a child and use their first name or their nickname and gain their confidence, gain their trust, and lure your child away. So even dance is a sport, and especially with Robin being a Sunday school teacher. Yes, I know she's a Sabbath day. Okay, but still. She says in the audio that I'm going to be playing that she has dealt with many children even at other places and even at this Seventh-day Adventist church. So you would think, as a mother, as a Sunday school teacher, as a dental hygienist, all these different hats that she wears, you would think that she would know better than to take and put a young child's picture, their face, their name, and all that information out there for anybody to see. Oh, but does she? Well, according to her YouTube page, she doesn't. Because, as it says right here, Little Steppers 2021, 415 people have viewed this page. And guess what? She put it up. How many days? Let's see, that was 9 days. She loaded this onto YouTube 9 days after she agrees that Summer may have been abducted. Knowing that Summer may have been abducted, she put all these kids' faces, and it is her page. See here, that's her profile picture. She put all these kids' faces on YouTube, not just out in public, not just on YouTube. She labels them, or someone did, and she loaded them onto her YouTube channel. Take a look, guys. These kids, their pictures, their faces, their names, they're labeled. They give first names of these children. Isn't that just unbelievable? And here's something that you'll recognize. Take a listen to this, okay?
Been a long time. Didn't really remember it at all. But like everyone, the terrain stood out very obviously. And I just parked down on the main road there, looking up toward the house, the ridges, creeks, just getting a feel for it, and just could not possibly see how that little girl would have just run off. And that's why I said, from my experience with having sisters and nieces, they're pretty set on what they do until you say horses or puppy dogs. Some even like kittens. It's usually something like that, and that's got their attention. They love them. I love those.
Oh, and just one little thing I'd like to point out after that little script, if you want to call it that. It's very possible that I could be mistaken, or the people that helped me research could be mistaken. But from what we've been able to find, and of course, not everybody knows everything, never heard about Tim Mullins having sisters. You know, he says in there that his personal experience with his sisters and his nieces, that little girls will come for horsies and puppies and kittens. Didn't know he had sisters. That's interesting. Okay, but anyways, I'm just wondering, guys. I mean, with Robin being the professional, like I said, and her wearing all the different hats that she supposedly wears, or that she does wear, how many kids is she going to put in danger? And it's not just her, it's the teachers of this class. They should be held responsible too. And I don't want anybody coming at me about the pictures that are being shown on here. I did try to cover them, but listen, I got all these pictures straight off Robin Lane's YouTube channel. Straight off there. And trust me, they are not covering the faces. Think about this, guys. I did a video a long time ago about how many RSOs are located in Kingsport and in Hawkins County, Sullivan County, Greene County. And if I remember correctly, in Sullivan County is somewhere around the number of like 600 RSOs in Sullivan County. This video, these little girls right here that you're seeing, this video has had more than 400 views. How do you know that part of those views wasn't part of those 600 RSOs in that area? I'm not coming down on Robin because I think that she might have had something to do with Summer getting gone, although I do find it a little odd that somebody was directing Summer in that dancing video in front of the barrel. But she could have been just auditioning for the Little Steppers. But what I do find appalling is that Robin and these other two women would put these little girls' faces and their names out there without one thought. Especially Robin, uploading this video 9 days after she admittedly says she thinks the same as the parents and that Summer was abducted. 9 days after she thinks Summer was abducted, she uploads all these little girls' pictures online, along with their names. And she wants to call Molly Golightly irresponsible and dangerous? I think not, Robin. I think you need to be cleaning up your own doorstep before you talk about somebody else. You got a lot of answering to do to the parents of these children. Did they sign consent forms for you to put these pictures online? You do realize you're not supposed to have pictures of children that are not yours without signed consent forms if you're a real photographer. You do realize that, don't you? I hope so. Okay, guys, this is Robin's interview with Chris McDonough, and I want you guys to pay close attention to it, and then I'll be back to point out a couple of things that I heard.
Right. I do, and if a little child wants to hug on me, bring it on. I'm all about it, you know.
Okay. Anything in her behavior that struck you as being out of the normal?
No, I mean, yeah, she seems to be very hyperactive at times and doesn't always respond to, whenever you're talking to her. Sometimes she doesn't really want to do what you're asking her to do, But, I mean, I've worked with a lot of kids here and other places, and I wouldn't call that out of normal. I would say that it's sometimes a little challenging, but it's not abnormal or anything like that.
Okay. Take me back to the day she disappeared.
Okay, so
Walk me through that.
Okay, so I was taking pictures at my little girl's dance recital. It wasn't actually the recital, it was the practice for the dance recital, and we had a big backdrop, and I had my fancy camera, and I was getting pictures of all of her classmates, all of her, the kids in the class, in the dance class, and I saw my phone, bzz, 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 and it was Candace, and she was calling me on FaceTime, and of course I couldn't answer because I was taking pictures.
What time was it?
Well, dance class starts at 6, so it was probably around 6:30 or 7, I would imagine.
Okay.
I didn't look at the time, but I guess.
Had you seen her any earlier that day, Candace?
No, hadn't seen her talk to her.
Okay, so that was the first contact that day.
That was the first contact, yeah.
Okay, what happened?
And she called me maybe 5 times on FaceTime, and I didn't answer to any of them until class was over, and I'm cleaning up my all camera equipment, putting away the backdrops and everything, and I get a call from a friend of mine, David Dotson. I get a call from him, and he said, Candace has been trying to call you. And I said, I know, I saw it, I wasn't able to answer, what's up? He goes, Summer's missing. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize at that moment how huge that was, but I was like, oh wow, that's bad. I'll call her. So actually, I don't even think I had to call her. I think she interrupted that call and she called me, and she got on my FaceTime screen, and I've got my little girl in the back seat, and she's like freaking out on my screen there saying, Summer's gone, and I called the police, and I don't know what to do, and I said, Candace, I'll be right there, I'm coming, but I said, first I gotta get my little girl home, I gotta get my husband to put her to bed, and I'll be right there. So I go home, and I get a bag, and I put flashlights and snacks and all the stuff in there, thinking I'm gonna be up all night looking for this little girl. And I don't think I even got to the house until probably 9 o'clock, because I had to do some other things before I could leave. So I think I got there around 9, and they wouldn't let us in.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us in. I parked my car down there at the little road across from the main road, and walked up there, and they had it all taped off. There was helicopters flying around everywhere. There was search dogs. There was police officers and lights, and it was just craziness. And at that moment, I realized, wow, this is a big deal. This is not just a small beans, we can't find her. This is huge.
Right.
Yeah.
So when your first impression when you got there was what?
Wow, this is a big deal. That's just, I mean, not that I didn't think it was a big deal before, but I didn't understand, I guess, at the moment that she told me Summer's missing and we called the police. I didn't know what to expect. This never happened. I'm a rookie. I'd never experienced anything like this before. So, yeah, it was just overwhelming, the amount of, and then I started getting really scared at that moment that, wow, this little girl's missing. She's been missing for, I guess, a while, that all this team has been put together this quickly, you know.
When you were on the video chat with Candace, explain that to me.
Well, to be honest, I was driving. So
you were
I was driving.
Okay.
So I couldn't really give her my full attention, but I just remember that her words were kind of crazy. She was panicking. And so, to be honest, I can't really tell you anything specific that she said. I know I probably asked her how long she's been gone for. I probably asked her questions, but I don't remember because I was distracted and she was in a panic mode. So,
Okay,
yeah.
in panic mode.
She was in panic mode.
It did. She mentioned Don.
Probably, but I don't remember what she said about him.
Did Don call you?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so your communication about Summer was Mom.
Just Mom, yeah.
Okay. What about Grandma? Did Grandma come to church with them?
She had come. She had come before, yeah. Not regularly, but she had come before.
Okay. Yeah. The week before this happened, were they here, if you know? The family.
The family. I honestly can't remember if they were or not.
Okay.
I don't know.
And when
I know they were here Mother's Day because that's when I got this necklace.
Oh,
That's
nice.
when she gave me this necklace.
Summer gave?
Summer gave me this necklace.
Summer gave you that necklace?
She did. And there
How
was
sweet is
earrings
that?
and a bracelet to go with it. I can't wear the earrings because my ears aren't pierced. But
That's fantastic.
yeah, so I know she was here Mother's Day. And that, I'm sure she probably was here after that, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at my pictures because I take pictures all the time.
Okay.
So.
When you got there, when was the first time you had a chance to see Candace next?
It took a while because they wouldn't let us go up, so there was like a yellow tape down.
When you say they wouldn't let us,
the police.
And who's us?
It was me and David Dotson. Yeah, we just had to hang out with the police because there was no way for us to go up the driveway.
Okay, and what were the police saying at the line there? Because I know cops talk when people come. What did they say?
They were just telling us how long that they'd been there, and I asked them if they'd had a good picture of her because I didn't know, and a couple of them said, yeah, I've seen a picture of her, and there's another couple that said, we haven't seen a picture yet. And I'm like, what? You haven't seen a picture of this little girl? So I pulled up on my phone.
Which one of these is the picture that you, if you remember?
Actually, none of these are the ones that I
love these pictures, by the way. She is that is so vibrant.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Isn't that great?
So precious. Yeah.
I mean, she's just like telling the world, I'm Summer.
I'm beautiful.
I'm Summer. And then this one, I think she's just being sassy here.
Yeah, she is. She got the colored hair in that
right? Is that the one? And this one, what's up with this?
I don't know. She being all cool.
Yeah, being cool. I think that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
Tell me about the haircut story, if you know.
I asked the mom, I asked Candace why they cut her hair, and she told me it was a cool summer cut.
And this picture is, she's what, probably...
Oh, well, that was taken after that. Mother's Day was the first time I saw her with her haircut, so that was probably taken close to Mother's Day right there.
Okay. And do you know anything about the red truck?
Okay, so that red truck, I've been told, has been, they already talked to the person. And
it's been eliminated?
It's been eliminated. Thank you for the word, yes.
Okay.
So that actually, I was going through these and I was Xing it out, and because I just don't think that we need to be looking for a red truck.
Well, and that's one of the reasons, right?
I know.
Why it's important to keep.
Okay, guys. Anyways, that was the second half of Robin's interview with Chris McDonough. But there's just a few things that stuck out at me, and I wanted to bring some attention to it and get some clarification too. One, Robin says that Candace called her about 6:30. She told Candace she had to go put her baby to bed or have her husband put the baby to bed, and that she wound up getting to Ben Hill Road around 9 o'clock. And she told Chris McDonough that it took that long because after she got her daughter to bed, she had some other stuff she had to do. which, I mean, I don't doubt. But come on, supposedly one of your flock, one of the members of the church, one of your supposed friends, a child that you dearly love has gone missing. And sorry, but I have some other stuff I've got to do before I rush off to come help you find your child or to even find out what's going on. That don't sit right with me. Especially after she's packed a bag with snacks and flashlights and has planned on being gone all night looking for this child, but yet she has to wait. We'll even give her till 7 o'clock when she got home and started putting her daughter to bed. So it took her 2 hours to get going and get up there. Okay, sorry. If it was me, my neighbor, my friend, a person at my church, I would be there. A child, period. I would be there. Second thing, Robin says that she didn't think it was a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal because the child is missing, but she didn't realize how big of a deal it was until she got there and seen the crime scene tape, the helicopters going overhead, all the police cars and stuff, and that evidently Summer had been missing for a while. Well, even if she had just been missing from 6:30 until 9 o'clock when Robin got there, they've already got scent dogs, crime tape up, crime scene tape, helicopters going. There was this big, huge hunt 2 hours in. 2 hours in, they had everything already set up for this huge, I don't want to call it a crime scene because y'all said a crime scene's not a crime scene unless Ellie declares it a crime scene or until there's crime scene tape put up or, wait a minute, Robin did say there was crime scene tape put up, so, well, I don't know. Anyways, but to me, it seems like that was an awful lot for just the first 2 hours. And you got to remember, it was still at like 10:30, 11 o'clock that night before they ever raised it to an endangered child alert. Okay, so then she realized, hey, this is a big deal. Also, she made the statement that law enforcement wouldn't let us go up there. Us. So was part of what Robin had to do that took her so long to get there was go pick up David Dotson? Because when Chris McDonough asks her, she says, oh, it was me and David. Yeah, funny, huh? Why did she need to go pick up David Dotson? And the last thing I'm going to ask about, and I'm thinking that the picture of Summer with her little friend, Marlena's daughter, I'm thinking she had short hair in that picture. And for some reason, I'm thinking I have been told that picture was taken in March, guys. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody knows what date that picture was taken, please let me know. But Robin makes the statement that the first time she saw Summer with that cut off hair, with the short hair, was on Mother's Day when she gave her that necklace. Mother's Day in 2021 fell on Sunday, May the 9th. I could have swore Summer had short hair in some of the videos at the church where Robin was holding her. Wouldn't that have been in April and March? Something like that. Just asking, guys. These are just some of the questions that wander through my crazy mind. Some of the questions that wander through Discovering's crazy mind. I did want to call attention to the fact that Robin put those kids' pictures and their names out there online, on YouTube, the very place that she swore up and down was so dangerous for her child's own picture to be when Molly did it. But yet Robin is allowed to do that to other children. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's safe. And especially with Robin declaring that she believes the parents that it was an abduction. She's going to take 14 days, and I did make that correction, guys. She's going to take 14 days after that baby supposedly got kidnapped and put all those other little girls' faces and their names out there on YouTube for everybody to see, including what could be part of those 600 RSOs that live in that county. Does it sound right to you guys? So, no, I'm not saying that Robin had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. I mean, we don't know. We're really not sure who did or who didn't. But I am saying that Robin needs to step up and take responsibility for not just putting one child's picture out there on YouTube and putting her in danger, but how many kids is in this dance group, and she put them up on her channel. You could have just made CDs and sent them home to the parents. They could have kept a memory of them that way. You're wrong, Robin, and you need to correct your mistake before it gets any worse. God bless. Please tell your children about stranger danger, and I'll see you on the next video.